Melter truly has that feel of your 80s sound. Was it your intent to recreate that vibe, or did the songs just sort of simply pick up where you guys left off?
Yeah, I think it was more the latter. We didn't have a clear goal set ahead of us, like, okay, now let's write just this kind of song or whatever. I mean, we knew that just from the standpoint of we've been touring so much the last 5 years that, you know, we were just inspired by the fans, and we knew that, you know, straight ahead rock was just going to come out of us, you know. It just made sense. And, you know, we wrote with, I think, realistically, you know, all those last couple of years of touring sort of inspiring us. And, you know, what are we doing while we're touring? We're playing our classic rock material that we always have played, you know, the classic Y&T material. And it just kind of just went all perfectly together. There was no preconception. We just wrote whatever felt good at the time, and that's what came out. And I think, like I said, it was mostly inspired by the fact of what we've been doing ourselves the last 5 years, and the fact that we're in, you know, we're a positive, you know, state of mind that things are going forward for us in our careers. So, yeah, but it was no, you know, preconception like, oh, we need another Black Tiger, you know, or we need another Earthshaker or a Mean Streak record or another this song or that. Never really crossed our minds, because when we write, we just kind of blank slate. Here we go, you know. Let's see what we come up with, and that's how. And luckily, I think we did the right thing this time around.
Talk about some of the songs on the album. I know they're all sort of like your children, but do any specifically stand out for you, have special meaning on Face Melter?
Well, you know, there are some, you know, that individually maybe we can all say different things. You know, they all are our children, just like you say, and as it was very hard for us to figure out what was going to make the record, what was going to be a bonus track, and all that kind of stuff, because of the fact that we thought they were all legitimate 100%, you know, contenders without any fill. And, you know, but at the same time, you know, if I were reflecting back on the things I was feeling as we were writing things and as I was writing certain songs by myself or whatever, you know, I'm Coming Home was a pretty important song for me. It meant a lot of things to me personally and for the band as well. And so that was certainly one that stands out in my mind as something that was written with a lot of emotional content sort of behind it, and for different reasons. Not only, you know, because of touring, but because of what home means to all of us, whether it means a home away from home or the way that the fans make us feel, or just, you know, things in our lives that happen that make it ever so important to be at home at that time. So, you know, that was certainly one of the big songs, you know, that stand out in my mind as important songs for me on this record. Outside of that, there's so many. I mean, you know, I love each song for its own thing, you know, that it does. You know, Shine On for the fact that it's such a cool rhythm and riff and great easy, you know, melody to sing along with. On With the Show and Blind Patriot, because they just kick ass. You know, that's one of those sides of us that we love, and we're fortunate enough as a band to be is a band that has a couple sides to us that the fans love, all those sides. The melodic ballads that we put out, and passionate ballads, and the straight ahead, you know, the hard rock and stuff. So, you know, there's so many things. Yeah.
That leads me to my next question. How do you guys even put a set list together these days with such a catalog of great music?
Very difficult. Lot of going back and forth and you know, saying, but I think it should be this because, and I think it should be that because, you know, but there's a little bit of a science to it as well, which is that I always have with us on my laptop every set that we've played for the last, 10 years. And so whenever we go to a place that we've played before, we just simply look back and go, okay, if we played there last year, what did we play? Okay, well, let's not play the same set. Let's make sure, you know, that we try to mix it up. But outside of that, just creating a set period is just difficult as hell. We know we got to put in certain, you know, classic Y&T songs that everybody's going to want to hear every night. and then that sort of leaves maybe another third to a half of the set open for all these other songs that we're dying to put in there. And depending on where we are, we'll try to, find out if a certain region, a certain song was more popular or something, and we'll put that in. But now that we got this new record, oh my God. We want to play everything, new off the record, but we know that we can't do that. We'll bore the hell out of some people that don't know about the record. So, we're doing our best to kind of still stick with the basic plan of playing, the popular stuff plus, some sort of record tracks that people would all like to hear, and that we would like to play. And now we want to put 3 to 5 new songs in every set, because we play a good 2 hours plus every night, so we have the ability to do that and still play plenty of material.
It's impressive as hell, the fact that you just can look back and say, hey, this is what we did before. What can we do to make it different for them this time to really, that's really showing the same sort of dedication to your fans that they show to you. Yeah, indeed. And that they're going to appreciate that, and certainly not everybody that came last year is going to be the same people that come this year, but there's a lot of, Y&T fans that are so dedicated that you can bet if you're coming back to a same area, there's going to be a lot of repeat customers. So, you want to try to give them, a different show. And it means a lot to them, means a lot to us as well. Because the fans are so dedicated to us, it means, that we've got to be the same for them, you're right, absolutely. That what goes around comes around. Is it true you were once asked by Ozzy to take over guitar duties between Randy Rhoads and Jakey Lee? Yes. We were on tour with AC/DC at the time, and we were hitting our last UK date on the UK tour, which was in Dublin, Ireland. And Ozzy Osbourne was there at the concert. There were a few other famous blokes that were there. And after the show, at our set, Ozzy came straight backstage before AC/DC came on with Sharon. And he dropped to his knees in front of me and said, "Will you please join my band?" And it was kind of embarrassing because the rest of the guys were standing right next to me, literally, or, in the dressing room at least, within a couple of feet away. And that was the beginning and end of that very quickly because I just, I said, hey, I respect that you asked me and I thank you very much, but no, I'm not interested. And not because I don't like Ozzy. I think he's a great guy and I love his music, but it didn't make sense for us at that time or for me because the band was just really starting to get a name for itself and starting to kick butt overseas and in places in the States. And, I would much rather be doing my own thing than trying to fill somebody else's shoes in somebody else's band. And it just, I didn't even have to think a second about it. It was an immediate answer straight back. Well, at the time, that would have meant pushing your good friend Brad Gillis from Night Ranger out of the band. Indeed, yeah. And, and Ozzy talked to me about Brad, and, he respected him and thought he was a great player and everything, but at the same time, it wasn't what he wanted for the band. He felt that Brad was, not rock enough for him, quite frankly. He goes, I had to tell him how to dress, and I had to grab him and move him all over the stage because he just wanted to stay still. And it's like, you're just moving all over the place and moving your head and crazy, and you're nuts and blah, blah, blah. And that's what I want, Yeah, obviously, he wanted the energetic, crazy rocker kind of vibe. And, and Brad was more the kind of guy that likes to, stand still and get into it and do his thing. And, I heard the stuff that he was doing with Ozzy, I thought he was great. I thought it was a good vibe, but he wanted something different, and Ozzy's the only person that knows what Ozzy wants. So I can leave it at that and go, hey, well, whatever, buddy. And then as it turned out, the next year we ended up doing a whole European tour with Ozzy and Y&T together with Jakey Lee, and it was just kind of funny how coincidence was there. So it worked out well.